that it's hard to always say that it could be deeper than that, but at the same time, it's not the depth. I mean, it's going to be hard to make cuts because we have so many great receivers that we could.
Patrick Mahomes finally speaking out after that brutal Super Bowl loss. But guess what? He's not chasing revenge. Instead, he's plotting something smarter, something scarier for opponents. This isn't about hot takes or dramatic headlines. It's about raw focus, renewed joy, and an entire offense ready to shine. The question isn't whether Mahomes will bounce back, it's how high he'll soar without the chin music. February 9th, 2025, Super Bowl 59 ended with the Eagles beating the Chiefs 40-22 in New Orleans. A blowout like that leaves more than a loss. It leaves a bitter aftertaste that lingers. Mahomes, known for his poise and leadership, had one of the most difficult games of his career. He was sacked 6 times, struggled to find a rhythm, and never quite looked like himself. In the post-game press conference, he didn't make excuses. He owned up to the loss, saying, I didn't think I played to my standard just with especially the struggles that I had earlier in the season. There's things I have to get better at, and they kind of showed today on the biggest stage. He even took to social media to apologize to Chiefs Kingdom, admitting he felt like he let everyone down. That moment marked a shift in tone, a recognition that even Mahomes, the generational talent, needed to evolve. In early July, Mahomes sat down with Kay Adams on Up and Adams. When asked about the Super Bowl loss and whether he was motivated by revenge, his answer surprised many.
I'm honestly just ready to play football again. Whenever you lose, you kind of have this taste in your mouth that you want to go out there and revenge that or whatever you want to say. But at the same time, I feel like I've had to sit back and just listen to people talk. And I'm like, let's just play football and just handle it all out there. And I don't really want to talk about it. I just want to go out and show who we are as a Kansas City Chiefs.
It wasn't anger. It wasn't vengeance. It was clarity. He made it clear that his focus is on execution and proving himself through action, not words. For Mahomes, it's about moving forward with intention, not dwelling on past failures. That mindset sets the tone for the entire team. Criticism of the Chiefs' offense intensified after the Super Bowl loss. Many analysts pointed fingers at the wide receiver group, calling them underwhelming, inconsistent, and lacking chemistry. Mahomes has heard it all.
Revenge that or whatever you want to say, but at the same time, I feel like I've had to sit back and just listen to people talk.
But instead of clapping back, he chose silence and a plan. His belief? Let the results do the talking. Mahomes isn't interested in media wars or sound bites. He's interested in touchdowns, wins, and another Lombardi trophy. That's the kind of quiet confidence that makes opponents nervous. This year's WR room might be the deepest Mahomes has ever had. Rashee Rice is healthy again and eager to take the leap. Hollywood Brown, signed in the offseason, brings speed and veteran presence. Xavier Worthy, the rookie burner, adds pure explosiveness. But the real strength lies in numbers. Sky Moore, Justin Ross, Tyquan Thornton, and rookies like Jalen Royals and Elijah Badger are fighting for roster spots. Mahomes said it himself.
It's going to be hard to make cuts because we have so many great receivers that we could be 8, 9 deep, the guys I can see making the roster. And that's what you want. You want competition. And we have that. Brett Veach, Coach Reed have done a great job of bringing guys in. And they've been competing, and we're excited to get to St. Joe, Missouri, and go out there and compete and showcase who we are.
This group may not have a clear number, 1, but Mahomes doesn't see that as a weakness. He sees it as a strategic advantage. A diverse WR core means defenses can't key in on one guy. Every play can go to someone different. The 2024 season felt different. Mahomes described it as joyless at times.
It's always been fun playing on the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's what makes it special. And I feel like last year, I don't want to say it was pressure, but guys wanted to go out there and win every single week, not for the fun of the game, just because we're supposed to. Let's go out there and have fun. I mean, the wins will come if we play the way that we know we can play. We have the talent, we have the coaches, we work harder than anybody in the NFL. So let's go out there and have fun and let the results handle themselves.
That lack of joy translated into tight, uninspired play. This year, he wants to bring the fun back, to enjoy the grind again. And Andy Reid is right there with him. The legendary head coach has been emphasizing culture, reminding players that when you love the game, the wins come naturally. This change in tone has been noticed throughout the locker room. Young players are energized, veterans feel reinvigorated, and Mahomes more than anyone seems at peace with the process. Mahomes is also growing off the field. His connection with Tom Brady has become a valuable mentorship. Mahomes recently revealed that he's had deep conversations with Brady about longevity, leadership, and handling adversity. Brady, now a minority owner with the Raiders, still took the time to help Mahomes.
And I've actually talked to Tom a good amount this offseason, and it's cool that he wants to give me advice. He doesn't have to be like that. He's such a good dude, and I have so much respect for him, and I'll take any advice he gives me.
That kind of insight from the GOAT himself is priceless, especially for a quarterback entering his 8th season with sky-high expectations. Travis Kelce is still around, but his future is uncertain. He's entering the final year of his contract and has openly said he'll see how he feels after this season. Mahomes and Kelce have built one of the most iconic QB-TE duos in NFL history, and the possibility of this being their last ride together adds urgency. Kelce remains a dominant weapon, but age is creeping in. That's why Mahomes is determined to make this year count, not just for stats or trophies, but for legacy and loyalty. With all this optimism, Mahomes isn't sugarcoating what's coming next. Hard work. Andy Reid has warned the WRs to get ready, famously telling them, "When you come back, get your hamstrings ready." This camp will test endurance, precision, and mental toughness. With so much competition for spots, every rep matters. Mahomes is locked in, pushing the offense to tighten roots, improve timing, and develop chemistry before the season opener. Behind the scenes, the Chiefs are exploring something big, a domed stadium. This would mean turf, no weather issues, and a faster game environment, exactly what Mahomes and his speedsters thrive on. In college, Mahomes lit up defenses on turf at Texas Tech. Bringing that same formula to the NFL could be game-changing. Imagine Xavier Worthy on turf or Hollywood Brown cutting on a dime. The speed would be overwhelming. A dome could give the Chiefs a new home field advantage, one built on precision, speed, and high-octane offense. Despite a down year statistically, Mahomes was voted the NFL's top quarterback by AP writers heading into 2025. That says everything about the respect he commands. The Chiefs kick off their season on September 5th against the Chargers, a perfect test to see how this offense performs under pressure. With big games against the Eagles and Bills later in the season, the storylines are rich. But more than anything, this year is about redemption without revenge, growth without gimmicks, and excellence without ego. So here's the bottom line. No revenge tour, no sweeping hype, just a quarterback laser-focused, an offense stacked with weapons, a coach obsessed with joy and grind, and a potential dome whispering, fast and unstoppable. That's the recipe for Chiefs Kingdom's next chapter, quiet, confident, and armed with everything needed to rewrite the narrative. Is Mahomes' new no-noise strategy enough to bring the Chiefs back to the top? Can this offense outshine the last great one? Let me know your take in the comments, smash like if you believe, and don't forget to subscribe for breakdowns all season long.
What is he? What's up? What? What's up? But still I can't afford to let these niggas stay close, stay close. God. Open the left, keep the left forward. Like a song terrific. I got a couple pairs. But now, what's that? Need a new safe cause I'm running out of this bitch all of my photographs. Right. Everybody running digs. You hit a motherfucker. Hey, I was just talking. Right. What is he? What's that? Right. Hey.
Why is one of college football's biggest stars stuck at the bottom in Cleveland? Shedeur Sanders ran up a hill in Miami, sending a message to the league. But back with the Browns, he's not even getting first-team reps. Fans are furious. Insiders are warning he could be cut. And rumors of another quarterback draft pick in 2026 have people asking what is really going on with Shedeur Sanders. Every quarterback in Cleveland's camp has a chip on their shoulder. Yet for Shedeur, it's more than just proving his arm. It's about proving himself. Drafted in the 5th round at number 144. 4 months after being projected as a first-rounder, Sanders landed amid a quarterback logjam. 5 signal callers drafted or acquired in one offseason. Now, the media and fans alike question whether he's here to lead or just to be cut. Enter podcaster Big Snacks, demanding the Browns fire the entire front office if they draft a quarterback in 2026. Why? Because drafting Sanders, Gabriel, and acquiring Pickett on top of Flacco shows no coherent plan. Instead, it's perceived as confusion disguised as strategy. If Sanders is the team's top 2025 quarterback, why waste picks on another one next year?
There is no doubt that Shedeur is the best quarterback that they've drafted. There's no doubt that going into this draft that Shedeur Sanders was the best quarterback, regardless of where he was drafted.
This tension amplifies every training camp rep or lack thereof Sanders gets. With no first-team reps yet, concerns are mounting. Analyst Chris Carter says sticking with Flacco now is a huge problem, while critics warn that unless Sanders emerges in camp, he'll be cut before the Browns ever draft again. Why? Because Cleveland isn't just deciding the starter, they're deciding the franchise's future. And if Sanders isn't the answer, the Browns will use their top picks on a fresh face in 2026. Shedeur Sanders is no ordinary rookie. At Colorado, he threw for over 11,000 career yards, earned the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, and rewrote school record books. In his final year, he completed 74% of passes for 4,134 yards and 37 touchdowns. His legacy is etched. Jersey retired, record-setting season, college football icon.
Can Sanders and the Buffaloes pay it off? Here's Sanders looking. Sanders winding up. He's got him in. Touchdown!
Walking up to Lambeau Field, few expected him to fall past round 1. Yet Sanders slipped to pick 144 in round 5, despite comparisons to Tom Brady and talk of potential $20 million contracts. His slide sparked widespread commentary and even attracted a prank call from someone impersonating an NFL GM. Upon arrival, Sanders joined a quarterback room overflowing with experience and promise. Joe Flacco returned on a 1-year, $13 million deal. Kenny Pickett arrived via trade. Dillon Gabriel came in round 3. Deshaun Watson remains, though injured. Sanders knows his ceiling. Starting may mean emerging from QB4. Big Snacks doesn't mince words. Spending picks on Sanders, Pickett, Gabriel, and then considering one more in 2026 is a mockery of strategy. He insists the entire front office must be fired if they draft another QB next summer, calling it wasted draft capital and false hope. Skip Bayless chimed in. What a mountain Shedeur Sanders is going to have to climb. Despite early hype and jersey sales, the NFL hierarchy hasn't convinced Cleveland to elevate him yet. Chris Carter agrees. Naming Flacco the starter is a huge problem, as rookies like Sanders deserve on-field reps to validate development. With no first-team snaps to his name, Sanders is watching others take reps he might have earned. Meanwhile, the Toronto Argonauts place Sanders on their negotiation list, giving them first dibs if he returns to Canada, though it's unlikely he'll go that route. The move signals backup options, but also raises eyebrows. Cleveland managing a roster heavily populated with quarterbacks and not giving them all time. Sanders intensified training in Miami with his longtime coach, wearing down on Hills, ignoring critics. Cam Newton endorsed his mindset. You'll always be hated. Stay locked in. But without roster movement, effort alone won't change depth charts. Brian Sleep, the Browns' 1979 MVP, urges giving rookies a fair shot in Cleveland's soon-to-arrive $2.4 billion domed stadium. However, insiders indicate team leaders are already backing Flacco as the Week 1 starter. Joe Flacco remains the main starter with veteran clout. Kenny Pickett brings trade acquisition upside. Dillon Gabriel is a third-round rookie who has been strong in camp. Shedeur Sanders has had no reps yet and sits on edge. Deshaun Watson is filling a season-long mentorship role.
We've got breaking news out of the NFL where the Cleveland Browns are trading for Eagles backup quarterback Kenny Pickett.
Having 4 QBs is rare. Cleveland risks developmental stagnation across the board. With training camp set for July 25th, followed by preseason that starts August 9th, Sanders needs reps. Not for hype, but to showcase readiness. Sports Rush analysis reveals Browns are eyeing 2026 quarterback prospects like Arch Manning, Fernando Mendoza, Cade Klubnik. If they're planning to draft one, it means Sanders or Gabriel would be cut before then. That sets a ticking clock for both rookies. Prove you belong by the end of 2025 or else. Chris Carter and Cecil Shorts. The third voice frustration, no first-team reps signals lack of investment. Without meaningful reps, how can Sanders improve or showcase skills? It's not about talent, it's about opportunity. Carrying 4 QBs limits space for receivers, linemen, and depth. Fans worry picks used could have strengthened the line or weapon core. If Cleveland still drafts in 2026, those earlier picks were wasted. Shedeur isn't just any rookie, he's Deion Sanders' son, and that carries media glare. Dave Portnoy called the Browns slide a worst-in-history move. Some scouts criticized his attitude during interviews, and public perception plays a big part in opportunities. Each quarterback entering camp means fewer reps per QB. Teams usually keep 2 signal callers. Cleveland is risking stagnation by spreading reps thin. Retaining top picks in 2026 is smart to build around a quarterback if you don't already have one, but if Sanders or Gabriel emerges, trading a pick becomes the logical high-upside option. The timeline is clear. Steelers start training July 25th, open preseason August 9th. Sanders must make every rep count. One glance, one drive could elevate him ahead of the pack. Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry need to clarify who is visioned as quarterback 1, quarterback 2, quarterback 3 in 2025, and is that plan tied to future picks? Will they stick with their players or use picks to pivot? Deshaun Watson, mentor on and off field, can bridge the experience gap, helping quarterbacks make NFL reads and cope under pressure. The Browns hold 2 first-rounders in 2026. If they draft a QB, then thousands of fans will say Big Snacks was right. But if Sanders flashes in 2025, those picks become trade chips. A bold, savvy move. Shedeur Sanders' rise is a modern NFL paradox. Stellar credentials, electric training, family legacy, yet slowed by a crowded roster and ambiguous front office vision. He's not just sprinting up hills in Miami, he's sprinting against time and organizational ambiguity. He can't afford a single misstep. One drop-off, poor rep, or lackluster playbook grasp, and he'll be the odd quarterback out. Fans will ask, why wasn't he given a chance? But when you join a team stacked with hope and experience, it's not just about skill. It's about seizing the moment, earning reps, earning trust, and own those early opportunities. It's 2025. The NFL looks for players who can dominate early. Sanders has talent, but the question remains, can he assert himself now before Cleveland decides their future in 2026? If this update gave you clarity on Cleveland's quarterback mess, smash that subscribe button. Do you think Shedeur Sanders will earn serious reps this camp, or will the Browns pivot again? Comment below, is Sanders the future of the Cleveland Browns? Should they carry 4 quarterbacks into a season? Would you trade 2 future first-rounders for stability now? Hit like if you want weekly QB camp breakdowns and frontline NFL updates.
We have some breaking news rippling throughout the land of the NFL. What we've been anticipating for what feels like months now is finally going to happen. According to the NFL Network insiders, Aaron Rodgers is finally heading to Pittsburgh. I'm Omar Reese, and one of those insiders, Tom Pelissero, is here. Tom, break it down for us. How did this happen and why now?
Well, you're right, Omar. This is something that the Steelers had been focused on for months. And as much as Aaron Rodgers
is now a Pittsburgh Steeler, but here's the thing. Vegas still isn't impressed. How does a team land Rodgers, Metcalf, and Ramsey and get treated like nothing's changed? Something doesn't add up. Rodgers' one-year deal with Pittsburgh sent shockwaves through the league after an up-and-down season with the Jets, where he tallied nearly 3,900 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 11 picks. Many thought his twilight was here. But Mike Tomlin saw an opportunity. Rodgers, even in year 21, still has the arm talent, decision-making, and football IQ that most quarterbacks would kill for. The Steelers clearly think they're just a quarterback away. You'd think Vegas would shift. Instead, they doubled down on mediocrity. The 8.5 win total puts Pittsburgh right back in the middle of the pack. And with odds makers only favoring them in 6 games this season, there's hesitation everywhere. Even Rodgers' presence hasn't moved the needle.